What's going on, y'all? What is going on? Um, it's been a lot going on, man. I don't. It's so much to talk about, but people kill me, right? Coming with their little comment, these long comments, and then it's like if I get it, if you think that he's guilty and you passionate about it, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. But don't come lying about shit. You know what I'm saying? Or don't be making assumptions and as if it's written in stone and it's not. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to hear this, man. This person here, right? I ain't gonna say her name or whatever, but they put well, it's safe to say that you need to do more research on the facts surrounding the case and on the judicial system. If you knew anything about the case, you wouldn't say, "Where are the bruises and the police reports?" Actually, the cops were called. There were police reports. They pursued criminal charges. Well, here's my thing on that, right? Um, this person is saying that obviously that they believe we don't do research, which is not true. We've done plenty of research. We read the indictments. We read the motions. We do all that.
That's all you do is research.
That's right, and not to mention we have been following R. Kelly's career, enjoying his music, as many people have been for 30 plus years. So then it's kind of like you say, where are the bruises? It's kind of like you're saying I shouldn't be asking where are the bruises. Well, what alleged victim has shown bruises? I have not seen no reports on bruises or none of the sort. So I don't understand why you say I shouldn't be saying that. If you can point out one of the alleged victims that showed some bruises, then holler back at me. But until then, I'm going to continue to say it because no alleged victim has shown any bruises. And as far as the police reports, where are these police reports at? Have you seen any police reports?
No. She said that they pursued it. Well, finish that, ma'am. Please finish that. What happened after they pursued it? Right?
Right.
Did he go to jail? Was he charged?
None of
Right?
that. None of that. The bottom line
So
is
basically, what you're saying doesn't make sense.
it don't make sense at all. The bottom line is this. The docuseries came out. It was biased. It was one-sided. It was a smear campaign. It was a violation to his rights. And after that, there was no pending charges. There was no pending investigations. It was none of that shit. Kim Fox went into the media. She held a press conference in the media and she solicited victims. They set up a 1-800 hotline for anybody to call. You know what I'm saying? That I don't understand how they can prove that all the people that called the hotline who was credible and who wasn't credible. You know what I'm saying? You just give the public a hotline number to call and basically say, if you've had any dealings with R. Kelly, please come forward. Please come forward. We can't pursue charges unless you come forward on this man. Well, anybody could have called that goddamn number.
That was not professional and it should be downright
It
illegal.
it was illegal and it was very unprofessional of Kim Fox to do that. It was very unprofessional for her to do that. And I don't understand how the bar association, I wonder how they feel about that. That's my whole thing. What does the bar association feel about her doing that? Also, this person says they pursued criminal charges. They passed lie detector tests. What? When when did they take lie detector
Who took
tests,
the
y'all?
test? Who administered the test?
Exactly. Who administered these tests? I mean, did Lifetime give these people lie detector tests? Has the federal government given them lie detector tests? I don't understand why the federal government would do that anyway when lie detector tests aren't even admissible. So it's like I don't get it. Who has given these people lie detector tests? And my thing is, maybe Dr. Phil gave them lie detector tests. Maybe Dr. Phil did.
Dr. Phil didn't want to deal with it because he said they were not credible.
Exactly. He didn't want to air the episodes. So maybe he gave them the lie detector test and then they failed them, I guess.
And Dr. Phil's very credible. He did not want to deal with these people. He said that what they were saying was not credible. He was not going to touch it.
I think that's a mute issue. I don't understand why this person would lie. And this is what I mean about with people lying, y'all. This is the first time I've heard anybody say that they have passed lie detector tests. This is the first for that one. But maybe she knows something that the rest of
That,
the world doesn't know.
right, right.
Let's see. Then she says there are pictures of underage girls in his bed and sex tapes with him and children. I have not seen pictures of these underage girls in his bed. I know Geronda Pace, I think, showed a picture or something, but there's no proof of the authenticity of that picture. We don't know how old she was in that picture. We don't know if she was even in R. Kelly's bed in that picture. We don't know if that picture is authentic. So I don't understand why this
Well,
person would say that.
but was she? He wasn't in the picture.
Exactly. He wasn't even in the picture. So who's to say that was even his bed? Who's to say that was even his house?
Look, it's like this.
Come on now.
If you have seen child pornography, you should be in jail because you should
Exactly.
not be watching child pornography. Okay, number one.
Exactly.
Okay, and none of us have seen anything of such. Okay, R. Kelly is going to trial. Whatever they have, they will produce at that time, and then he'll have a chance to defend himself.
Exactly.
So until then, I don't know what she's talking about.
I know. I remember when we was reading this and you were saying how irresponsible this person was. I mean, it's
Well,
like this is
yeah,
very
for her to
irresponsible.
say anything, to state this as if it's true, without saying allegedly, is totally irresponsible.
Exactly. Definitely. And also it says underage girls in his bed and sex tapes with him and children. What? Well, I mean, I know they got the tapes or whatever. But we've all done, we've done our commentary on these tapes and stuff like that, and we know in the 2008 trial that they couldn't confirm that it was him on the tape nor the girl on the tape. So and they couldn't even get a proper date stamp. I mean, I don't even think. My thing is this: they have to prove that the date stamp on the tapes are authentic, and until they do that, once again, it is not good for you to say that they have these things as if it's a fact.
It's
It's
irresponsible.
irresponsible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
irresponsible across the board when she's saying these things, uh, and and like she has this as facts. Who is this person?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like somebody that probably was on that docuseries. To be honest with you, it sounds like one of the women that was on the docuseries. I don't know if it is or not, so I'm not gonna say that that's a guarantee, but that's just what it seems to me. I think I got an idea of who it is, but I'm not even gonna say who I think it is. But
Right.
anyhow, let's see. Pursue criminal charges, picture underage girls, sex tapes. When all else failed, they pursued civil suits. Wow, and let's not forget they have his DNA too. Oh, and did you forget about the child porn he got caught with in Florida? And because of a technicality, he got away with that too. Well, as far as the civil suits, I know people always want to talk about patterns. They trying to make patterns with R. Kelly and all this and all that. But let's talk about this pattern. Let's talk about the pattern that a lot of these alleged victims, they chose to go the legal route of dealing with Susan Loggins, who was clear. It was clear to me that Susan Loggins was only they were only going to her because they were seeking payouts from R. Kelly. It's kind of similar to an ambulance chaser. You see what I'm saying? Because if they was trying to get justice out of the situation, they would have known better not to not go to her, because that's not what she was about. She was clearly about settlements and getting payoffs.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Exactly. And as far as the DNA, well, the only person I know of that I've heard that had DNA allegedly was Lanita Carter. They said that she had some shirt or something with the shirt is 17 years old. I don't know the authentic, if that's going to be authentic.
She could be just starstruck and said, "Oh my God, I had sex with R. Kelly. I'm going to keep this as a souvenir, whatever."
Exactly. Just because even if it is his DNA on something, that does not mean that a crime happened. That doesn't mean that.
That,
It could have been consensual, right?
that's right.
Yeah, so once again, this person is irresponsible. And the Florida situation, well, that's a mute issue. We're not going to get, if any technicalities, I don't feel the need to even entertain that, y'all. And again, that's a mute issue. Also, she said, you know who's ruining RK's image? Himself. I swear, as black people, we need to do better. Such a lack of accountability. It's always someone else's fault. Again, I disagree. I don't think that R. Kelly ruined his own image. I think the only people that's ruining his image is everyone that is saying this man is guilty. Everyone like you, that is, that's saying this man is guilty without saying allegedly, when the Constitution states that every citizen is presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That's what the Constitution states. So, again, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't know why you are so hell bent on destroying R. Kelly's name or whatever after 30 years. Because, I mean, to me, that's what this is all about. 30 years, and now this wave against R. Kelly came out, and now you got so many people jumping on the bandwagon. And I just think it's despicable, man. To be honest with you, it's despicable. And as far as the black people, the lack of accountability, let me ask you this. Was it someone else's fault when they put us in slavery? When they took us, when they separated families, separated mothers from children, children from parents, sisters from brothers, cousins, all that? Was it our fault then? Was it someone else's fault then? Is that what you're saying? Was it someone else's fault when they put in place the Reconstruction after the Civil War? Was it someone else's fault when they put in place Jim Crow? Was it someone else's fault when Hoover in the FBI put together COINTELPRO, which that was to prevent black leaders and the Black Panthers from starting a social and financial uprising in the African American communities? When you answer these questions for me, then I think I'll take that that statement in consideration. But until then, I think that's silly for you to even say that. I mean, it's just real silly, man. It's like, that's the problem with people of color, man. We always want to, you know what I'm saying? It's like we always want to ignore how we've been treated. We want to ignore our history. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just dumb. It's just dumb to me. But then after that, y'all, she goes in to say, I don't know what you expect after he sexually abused underage girls for 30 years, and he associated with idiots like, well, I'm not gonna mention the names she put in here. It's irrelevant. I ain't gonna out them people like that. If RK gave a fuck about his own image, he would have gotten his shit together after his marriage to Aaliyah was annulled. Man. Once again, no allegedly. You're basically saying that it's a fact, that you know for a fact that he had sex and that he assaulted underage girls for 30 years. Better start saying allegedly. That's all I'm going to say on that one. As far as
she knows these things for a fact, if she knows these things for the fact for the last 30 years, how come he hasn't been locked up 20 years ago?
Exactly.
Like, she sounds like she's very passionate, and we all are. And I get it. However, she already has him guilty of these things. She acts like she knows a lot of these things, and if that's the case, I want to know, what was she doing for these 30 years to get this man locked up? Did it take a docuseries for her to come out? What was she doing these past 30 years to get this man locked up?
Exactly.
Or bringing these girls to justice.
Exactly.
And also, it's, if they're saying this man is guilty, that he has been sleeping with 12, 13, 14-year-olds all his life, right?
Right.
That's who he is. Where are these 12, 13, 14-year-olds right now? I want to see someone that's 12, 13, 14-year-olds right now. Don't try to produce any 12, 13, 14-year-olds either, because we'll know. Here's the thing. If this is who he is, you don't just stop that.
Right.
You don't, every person that in these indictments and stuff are grown women.
Yep.
You know, you know, there should be some underage children running around here that is telling their parents right now that R. Kelly did something to me.
It's the same formula.
You know,
They're using the same formula.
it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
You know,
They're using the same formula that Bill Cosby
she's so
used.
strong with what she's saying. You know, but what were you doing? What were you doing to help these girls you said he slept with? Who are they? What are their names? How come they're not listed? How come these 12, 13, 14-year-old girls that are now 12, 13, 14-year-olds listed in the indictments?
Exactly.
I don't understand that.
Most of this stuff is from like the 90s, and to me that's when it's like, come on, man. If he's such a monster,
I get that, but that's not what she's saying.
No, I know what she's saying. Yeah,
she's saying that he's been doing this for 30 years.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If he's such a monster, why does it seem like that 90% of these charges are from the 90s? That's what it seems. It seemed like 90% of these charges, none of them are up to date charges. 90% of them, that is. And then
There's gotta be some 12, 13, 14-year-old girls right now.
They don't have none. They haven't shown any. They haven't produced any. That's what I'm saying. But for some reason they continue to call this man a monster and all this and all that, and I'm just not seeing it.
They believe that he's been doing this all his life, right?
Right.
Just think about that. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all. None. And as far as the annulled thing with Falia, the definition of annulled is an official agreement, decision, or result that is declared invalid. Or as far as a marriage, it declares a marriage to have no legal existence. So that to me is another mute issue. I don't know why they won't let, you know what I mean? It's crazy. If there's no legal existence in the marriage, that means it did not happen. It didn't happen. Aaliyah, when she was alive, said it never happened. R. Kelly said it never happened. The parents said it never happened. So it never fucking happened. Period. It's time to move on from that now and let her rest in peace. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Now let's see here. Then she goes on to say, and lastly, in the United States, you can be charged for raping your girlfriend, wife, side chick, underage girls, etc., etc., as if we don't know that. As I said, do your research and you will see that many have been indicted for that very reason. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not, it's still against the law. Boy,
we know this, but Jocelyn Savage is not saying that R. Kelly raped her. She's still with him. She has not filed charges against him, so that's a mute issue.
Right.
And by you saying these things, it's irresponsible.
Yep.
Come on now, let's stick to the facts.
Exactly.
You know, you want to have some truth talk? We're here for it, but we have to be truthful about everything. Okay.
Exactly.
We have to be truthful about everything.
And
people have came out saying that R. Kelly had underage girls locked up in the basement. Locked up, they couldn't eat, they couldn't go to the bathroom, they couldn't do anything. Where are they? Period. Okay? They didn't come out and recant that. Okay? None of that.
Exactly.
Look, if the parents do not like him because they do not like their daughters with an older man, or they don't like the fact that their daughters are not keeping in contact with him, I respect that. You know, they say that R. Kelly is brainwashing their daughters, but then they come on TV and tell us, like we're idiots, that these girls are locked up in the basement and can't eat. Can't go to the bathroom unless they ask for permission.
I mean, it's crazy.
And we're idiots now.
That's how they trying to treat us.
Look, my opinion, and it's just my opinion. you're gonna have to tell me the truth, because I come from a position where, you know, I usually empathize with people. That's just who I am, and I get what they're saying. I do, I really do. But if you want, you're saying that this man is brainwashing your children, but you are coming on TV to brainwash me with lies.
Exactly.
Like I can't think for myself, you know? And that's offensive to me. That's disrespectful to think that we're going to be stupid enough to believe all of that stuff. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. You know, we try to deal with the facts here. We that's what we want to do. You know, we want this man to have a fair trial. We want him to be to have a due process where he can get a bond. Okay, he doesn't have a record. We know the justice system does not is not favorable and to people of color. That's proven.
And it's being proven right now. It's being proved right now with this R. Kelly case. That's the point, that the whole point, that the justice system is not fair to people of color. They're showing it right now with the R. Kelly case.
They're stacking the deck on this man. They won't release all the discovery. He look, he doesn't even know all the people that are accusing him of these crimes, these Jane Does, and they won't release all the names to the attorneys till 2 weeks before the trial.
That is crazy.
If they're so certain that he's guilty, if they have all these tapes, they have the warehouse, they have everything, they got witnesses, why are they doing so much undercut stuff? Why won't they give him a bond? The R. Kelly has had 2 surgeries, which mean his immune system is low. Okay? He's 53 years old. Okay? COVID. Okay? He's borderline diabetic, probably diabetic now. Okay? His life is in danger. He's been beat up in there. They need to give him a bond. Period. He has no record. Give that man a bond. They have his passport. This is unfair. This is not right. This is against the law. This is against the Constitution of America.
Point blank. And whether you agree with it or not, because since you want to say it's still the law, well, whether you agree with it or not, every citizen, according to the Constitution, is to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in any court of law in America. So whether or not you like that fact or not, that's still the law and that's still the Constitution. So once again, back at you on that one. You know, I just don't get these people, man. I really don't. I don't get them. I don't understand it. They're so quick to come here with their
Calling
opinions
this
and
man
stuff.
a monster, and like he doesn't have children. What about his kids? What about what you're saying? How's it affecting his children? You care about these little girls, right?
Right.
You say you care about the little girls. What about his little girls? What about his son?
Exactly.
You're saying all these horrible things, and he's not even been, he hasn't even went to court yet.
Ain't even went to court.
You're being irresponsible. It's not fair.
Not fair at all. This person also went to say that I think some of your statements are confusing and hypocritical. Why is it that one black man's life is more important than 50 black girls?
We care about all lives.
Exactly.
We care about all lives.
Point blank.
Okay, especially black lives and people of color lives. But we care about all lives.
And he is not being charged. There is not 50 girls or women in these indictments. He is not being charged for 50 people. So that once again is another exaggeration. That's what that is. It's an exaggeration. Irresponsible and all that. You know what I'm saying? And to say that we don't care about them people, I mean, that's just crazy. These people, if they wouldn't have came on the scene lying and exaggerating like how you're doing right now, then maybe we would have took them more in consideration. But they came on the scene lying and all that shit. So I feel like R. Kelly is being done wrong, and I feel like that R. Kelly deserves a fair day in court. And if you can't understand our point on that, then I don't know what else to tell you, point blank. And then she also went and said there are certain charges that prevent individuals from receiving a bond, regardless of ethnicity, gender, etc.
But it's like this.
Jesus.
R. Kelly has a team of lawyers. There's a judge. There's prosecutors. His defense team is not going to put in motion after motion after motion asking for a bond if the law does not warrant him to have one. They're not going to waste their time like that. He's due a bond.
Exactly.
Okay?
That's a
and
mute statement.
As far as confusing, look, we try to be as clear as possible. We both believe in communication. And it also is very important on how you perceive what we're saying. And if what we're saying is not clear, we will certainly work on that. Okay? And I apologize that you're not comprehending what we're saying.
Well, I think this person is comprehending it. I think that they're just so hell bent on taking R. Kelly down that they're coming with lies and they're coming with exaggerations. And to me, that's a dangerous human being. If you're not going to sit here and come with facts, you know what I'm saying, then don't come at all.
Well, she's already said that she saw child pornography, which puts her behind bars as we speak. If she wants to be a law-abiding citizen, go turn yourself in.
Right.
And say you saw child pornography.
This is terrible, y'all. But remember in the O.J. Simpson case, right? Detective Mark Furman. Remember when he took the stand? Mr. Cochran, God rest his soul, was asking him questions, and Furman kept on pleading the fifth. So it got to the point where Johnny Cochran said, "Are you going to plead the fifth for every question that I ask you today?" And once again, he pleaded the fifth. And then Johnny almost walked away and, almost said, what, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time with him. But then he thought about it. And this was the key moment in that trial that a lot of people don't want to mention. But he asked him, he said, "I got one more question for you. Did you or did you not plant any evidence in this case?" And Detective Mark Furman once again pleaded the fifth. So you see, y'all, the reason why I brought that up is because everybody seems to say that Jim Derogatis is like the oracle of information, that he's been exposing R. Kelly for all these years, 30 years, and he knows all the alleged victims, and he's wrote this book that was a flop, may I add. It was a major flop. They say he's the oracle, but my question to him is, why did you plead the fifth in the 2008 state case? If you got all this information on R. Kelly and you say that he's a monster and that he's sexually assaulting young girls for 30 years, why did you decide to plead the fifth? Why did you do that? Until you can answer, until he comes out publicly and answers that question to my satisfaction, and I don't want to hear about Jim Derogatis. I really don't. Up until that point, I don't want to hear about him at all. Yeah, I mean, the man was all at the press conference. When Attorney Greenberg was talking, he was cussing out Attorney Greenberg. He's just so passionate. He's so passionate about these girls, Jim Derogatis, that is. But he pleaded the fifth in that 2008 case. And like I said, he
on the docuseries.
Right, all on the docuseries. Like I said, he has to come out and address that. That's just the bottom line to it. And you know what I mean?
And, we appreciate your feedback. We really do. We love it. However, because we need to start having these discussions, but we have to have truth. And as a matter of fact, let's go into some truth. You want to talk about truth?
Yeah, I mean, let's ask Sparkle some questions. Sparkle, since Jim Derogatis, since we talking about him, and based on my knowledge, it seems like you were the one that was called down there to witness the videotape or to view the videotape, because you had to confirm if it was your niece on the tape, right? Well, let me ask you this question, Sparkle. Since everybody wants to be honest nowadays, it seems. Is it true? Were you married to Earl from public announcement when you went to work with R. Kelly? Because a lot of people are saying that that was the case with you. So I'm trying to figure out, can you come out publicly and can you address this? Can you clear this up a little bit? And then also, are you willing to take a lie detector test to prove whether or not you were intimate with R. Kelly? Because you said you weren't, but again, a lot of people have said that you were. So I don't understand why you won't come out and address these.
I would like to know why she wouldn't shake Sharon Wimbush's hand in the kitchen, allegedly.
Yeah, that's another one. That definitely seemed like somebody that was jealous of another woman being around.
And remember
that's what it seemed like to me.
Remember that interview that members of Public Announcement had on Vlad? And they, hinted around that she was with R. Kelly. That she left her husband for R. Kelly, allegedly.
Yeah, that's a lot of people have said that. That's what I'm saying. It seemed like the whole Chicago said that. It seemed like the whole Chicago knows that Sparkle and R. Kelly was romantically involved, but it seems like the only person that didn't know that was Sparkle. So I'm just trying to figure out, why won't Sparkle come out and address these allegations? Because she wants to talk about everything else. She wants to put everything else out there. Let's come talk about it. Let's talk about these things, man. That's all I want to know.
It's just all R. Kelly's guilty. Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Just guilty. He did this. He did that. Yeah.
Guilty.
All because the prosecution or the feds say it. I guess it's written in stone, huh?
Yeah,
it's just stamped.
The government cares so much about our little black girls.
Yeah, now they care about the black girls now.
400 years. Have them go into the ghetto. Have them go into the inner cities. Check out the schools. Check out the health care.
Right.
Check out if they have their own homes, their own vehicles, how much money they have in their bank account. Let's check it all out.
They don't care
Why
about
don't
none
they
of
let
that.
some of these black men out so they can start caring about their daughters
Exactly.
and their sons?
Exactly. I mean, this person then went on to say, she also said, I never seen a man with integrity, morals, and common sense advocate for a pedophile they've never even met, but what do I know? Well,
First of all, thank her for the compliment.
right, I'm going to thank you for that compliment, but apparently you don't know much, because you would know that using the word pedophile is very irresponsible. That's somebody that was sexually involved with somebody that's pre-adolescent. So, once again, irresponsible. Yeah, I don't understand why people keep coming and just they feel the need to just say he did it, he's guilty or whatever. Look, I think that everybody, whether you think he's guilty or whether you think he's innocent, I think everybody has to start over and let's look at this thing with an open mind. Let's look at it with an open mind and let's let it play out in court, period.
And we appreciate the feedback. We really do. We care about all people. But, us black people, us people of color, have to understand that we're on the losing end of this. And we have to come together as a whole and so we can, generate changes here. The justice system is not fair. Period. We have people of color coming together. We have white people coming with us. And we have to make a move now if we're going to generate the change that needs to be. Period. Point blank.
Bottom line. Peace, y'all.
Actually, one more thing. What life and what my education has taught me, the best predictor of behavior is relevant past behavior.
Think about it, y'all. 30 years. 30 years is what we're dealing with. 30 years here, and 90% of these cases is from the 90s. 90% of these cases is from the 90s. So we got to get real here. We have to get real. King of R&B, 30 years. Only 3 children, with one woman. Think about that. Peace.